Alright guys, today we're working on my 2017 Ram 2500. It's got the Cummins, and I've been fighting a right side wheel sensor code of it not communicating at all. I've replaced the wheel sensor with a factory Mopar, didn't fix anything, so I thought I had a wiring issue. Well, I know I have a wiring issue. Yesterday, I took a jumper wire and I ran from that sensor over to my left side here, plugged it in, so I was running my right side wheel sensor on my left side harness. And I did that to make sure that it was a wiring issue and it wasn't a sensor issue. I fired my truck up, I used Alpha OBD, and it showed that the wheel was registering as it should. It was spinning in four-wheel drive, it was showing my speed, so I knew my sensor wasn't the issue. I then jumped from my passenger side sensor right to my main harness for my ABS block, and it still wouldn't communicate. So I know that the wiring from the harness to the sensor is not the issue also. So really I didn't know what the hell the issue was. I don't know, I slept on it overnight and now I'm back on it today. While driving it yesterday, randomly the light went off. And I know it's going to come back on, so before it comes back on, I'm going to make it come back on. So I fired the truck up and I grabbed the junction block and I yanked onto it, and sure as hell the light came back on. So I knew the issue was in the junction block. And what it is this is the wire that I've been chasing. That connector is loose. It plugs onto one of those little pins there, and it wasn't making a good contact. So what I did after I popped it out, which is removing this plastic piece with a screwdriver, right here's a clip, right there's another clip, right there. That plastic piece comes out and are all them pins. I knew my issue was in that fourth pin, so use a little prick pin, punch, and release the mechanism and pull out the wire. And in here, try to get in close. I tightened that fitting right there. I just pushed it in a little bit with a punch. And now I've got a good connection. When I slide it on a pin, it makes a good solid connection. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to put it back into the junction block, put it all back together, go through my truck and clear all the codes and see if that fixed the issue. Alright, after installing the pin, I just stuck the connector back together. I haven't put the cover, I haven't even put the red keeper on yet. I just want to make sure that I was correct at my issue. So let's turn the key on. Let everything cycle. And wham, light's already off. I didn't actually even clear the code yet. I know it's stored in the bank and I will go through and clear it later, but hope that helps everybody else. Have a good day. Okay, with my issue fixed, I'm going to go through and put it all back together. Pull my plug back out gently, mainly because I don't have my red cap on. But we'll stick that back on. Put the red keeper back on, nice and firm. I'm going to replace the zip tie that I took off. It goes in this hole here. And around those wires. With the zip tie done, I'll put my plastic cover back on here. Just snaps on the back side, nice and firm. And then I'm going to put one more zip tie around this right here, like it was in the factory. and then plug my plug back in, lock the security lock over, put the wheel well back in, put the tire on, and finally fixed.